Hello everyone, I'm going to show you the new invoice and forecasting widget in Zoho CRM. So I'm in a sales order, and over here on the left hand side you can see this sales order has 7 line items. These line items need to be forecasted and then invoiced. So I'm going to jump over here to the widgets and open up the invoice and forecasting widget. As you can see, this widget has a wizard across the top to guide you through the process. Here I can see the sales order value, including and excluding tax. I can see here if there are any credits, overpayments or prepayments that I can use to allocate towards the forecast or invoice payments. I can see nothing has been forecasted on this sales order yet, and no profit and loss invoices have been raised. The balance still to forecast is the same as the sales order value. Over on the left hand side, I've got the account details. Now on this account, I've elected a charge through account, which means the sales order belongs to one company, but another company is going to pay the invoice. So the first step is to click on the green button, proceed to job forecast. And you can see now I've gone to step 2 in the wizard. Now currently I don't have any forecast, so I have this blue button. If I click on the blue button, I can now calculate my forecast. Under the calculate option, I can calculate my forecast by many different options. If I want to do by quantity, you can see here, it breaks down the line items by quantity. If I go back and I want to forecast it by percentage, then the quantity field is replaced with a percentage. I can work through the different options here and forecast by job instruction or production items, or I can just choose the sales order and forecast the entire balance on delivery or completion of the sales order. If you want to raise an invoice immediately for the full balance, then just forecast by sales order and go straight through to the invoice stage. Now I'm going to elect to forecast by production item. And there we go, there's my 2 production items. Now I've already used the Create Sales Items widget to allocate my 7 line items from the sales order to these 2 production stages. Please refer to the Create Sales Items video for more information on how to do that. Now because I've chosen production items, my production items are connected to my project. So if I click on Calculate Due Dates, it automatically finds when these production items are due to be completed. Those production due dates can be updated from your production pipeline, or you can click on the Calculate Due Date. So you're ready, click on Save Forecast and click on Confirm. And there we go. The forecasts have now been created. Now if you've made a mistake or you need to change your forecasts, you can now edit or delete them. So click on the Create or Update Your Forecasts and you'll go back to the editing screen. You can take your forecasts off and you can also recalculate your forecasts. You can also go ahead and calculate your due dates again. So once again, I'm going to click on Save Forecast. This little calculator just tells you how your forecasts were calculated. Now at the beginning of the process, I could see here there was $1,650 in credits, overpayments or prepayments that I can allocate. I can also allocate those to my forecasts. So I click back to proceed to forecast. That will take me back to this screen, and I can click on this blue button, allocate payments to forecast. And there we go, it shows me my 2 payments. Now I'm working in sales order SOS 1348. So I can see this has already got a deposit payment of $550. So I can either allocate a portion of that, or I can tick here to apply the maximum. I can apply that prorated across both production items, or I could have manually chosen to allocate the amounts myself. I can take off the allocations and I can click on Calculate again to correct them again. So it's fairly flexible for you to adjust and make the changes or make any corrections and recalculate. So I'm going to prorata, and there we go. It's allocated the 550 and apportioned it based on the values of each item. I'm going to pop up here and click on Update and Save Allocations. Now I can proceed to Invoiced Item. So I'm going to click which forecasts I want to include on my invoice and click on Generate from Selected Forecasts. And that takes me into the Invoiced Item tab. So over here, I can see the sales order value and how much this claim is. And there's the line items that I'm claiming. I haven't claimed anything to date. And after this, there will be nothing remaining in my sales order. Now, if I didn't want to claim the full amount, I can click on bulk claim and I can claim a set amount, a percentage, or the balance. I'm going to say 50%. And there we go. It updates all my line items to 50%. If I now click on Next, I'm only claiming the half of each forecast. So you can see here, it shows me my current claim and it's adjusted my current claim to 50% of the sales order value and created 2 fresh forecasts for the balance. Now up here you can see it apportioned my allocated payment and therefore it's showing me the cash flow value of my current claim and the cash flow value of my future forecasts. My cash flow value is the sales order, including tax, less the $550 allocated from my deposit payment. So my cash flow value is $557,150. Now if I change my mind, again I can click on Cancel, I can come back to here and I can change it that I want to claim the whole balance. And there we go, it's automatically updated. So now when I go to Next, I'm back to the full amount and again the cash flow values have been updated. So when I'm ready to proceed to the invoice, I click on Create Invoice and Update Forecasts, pop in my invoice details, I can give my invoice a title, pop in a description, and I can update the due dates, and these can also pull from the accounts payment terms. Shows me my allocated payment, and if I tick on this box, I can have the invoice automatically sent to the customer, but please reach out to SOS Consulting if you require that feature, as it does require a custom function to be added to your account. If I click on Create Invoice, my invoice is now automatically being created, and here's the invoice. And you can see here the balance due is less the prepayment amount. You can see the prepayment amount over here on the left hand side. We click on Payments, there's the allocation, and that has automatically been moved from your balance sheet to your profit and loss account through our accounting integration. So if we pop back up, we can see here that this is a profit and loss invoice. And we can see the financial details, including the payment and credit amounts. And down here we have the invoiced items. Now, if you're using our exclusive bill of quantity estimating, and you chose to group your items when you converted to quote and sales order, your invoice will reflect the same grouping. So that's our invoice and forecasting widget. And if you're using our production items and job instructions, your forecast now can be automatically updated to let you know when other progress and invoice payments are due.